This is a motorcycle handlebar. Looks pretty good, right?
Wow!
But what you can't always see is that this handlebar is in fact bent. See, even a slow drop from just the wrong angle can be enough to bend your handlebar and cause unpredictable and unsafe motorcycle steering. So in today's video, we're going to look at 4 ways to tell if your handlebar may have been bent from a drop and 4 other common issues that could be impacting your motorcycle's handling and steering. So there are 4 main ways of telling that your handlebar is bent. So the first is the feeling that you get when you're riding the motorcycle. If you just crash the bike, you get back on it, and the handling seems a little bit off, that's usually a good sign. And you might only feel it more when you're maybe turning left or turning right, but if something doesn't quite feel right, good sign your handlebar is bent. The second way is the way the motorcycle feels when you're sitting on it. And you're gonna need a friend for this. So have a friend sit in front of you. Imagine I asked you to sit on your motorcycle, hold it upright, close your eyes, hold each grip, and just turn this around back and forth with your eyes closed, and then get it right where you feel is dead center. Now, what feels dead center to you should also mean that everything is lined up perfectly, including your front tire should be lined up perfectly down the middle. Now, from your friend's perspective, while you still have the bike off the stand, if to your friend, the bike looks like what you are holding straight is actually a little bit off to the side, it's a good chance your arms are straight, your body's straight, something somewhere is bent. It's probably your handlebar. You can also do the opposite, have your friend tell you how to line up that bike so it's dead center, and then put your hands on there and see how it feels. To me, it feels like this arm is a little bit more bent, which tells me that this arm is a little bit closer to me, so my handlebar is not straight. Now, the third way is the way your motorcycle handlebar looks when you're sitting on it. So again, if you have your friend tell you, okay, right now, your front tire is dead center. Now I'm gonna get on the bike, I'm gonna look at it. Basically, we're looking anywhere there's a bend or a change in angle. Is it symmetrical from side to side? Is everything the same? Is the rise looking level? Is one rising more out, one rising more in? Is this bend around the same angle? Is that bend around the same angle on both sides? The way the bars flare out at the end, is that even, or is one a little bit dipped or a little bit more towards me than the other? That's what we're looking for. To me, it looks like my handlebar is going straight and then diagonal and then really diagonal. That's a good sign it's bent. And the last way, if you want to be super, super sure and you're just not 100% confident yet, is with it locked in the straight position. And again, we're always going to have the bike straight up, never on the side stand when we're doing this. We're going to take a measuring tape and we're going to pick an arbitrary spot. So here's an arrow on the middle of my gas tank. We're going to get the furthest away point to the arrow, and it's about 16 3/4. Take the same point of the arrow on the tank, measure it here. It's about 15 1/4. So this is what, about 1.5 inches closer to the center point than this is. So even if we're off by just a touch where we're not totally perfectly straight, 1.5 inches difference, this handlebar is definitely bent. Now, maybe you have none of these issues, but your handling still feels off. Or maybe you have all of these issues. There's still a few more things you're gonna wanna check out. Now, when people say handling problems, usually the 2 most common issues are back here. Firstly, your tires. I have a video on 7 ways to tell if your motorcycle tires need replacing. This is the most important part of your whole motorcycle, making sure you have good rubber. Seriously, please make sure you know all 7 ways of telling that your tire might need replacing, because that can make a big difference. The second way of knowing what's going on back here might be affecting your handling is if you get yourself one of these little tools. Let's do a voiceover because I explained this badly. So every now and then you're gonna have to adjust your chain on your motorcycle. Obviously, if you adjust it incorrectly, where you're just not doing the same thing on both sides and you adjust one side more than the other, your alignment is gonna be off. So what I recommend is you get one of these chain alignment tools. They're only like a few dollars. I will link to where you can buy one for cheap. And you're supposed to take off your chain guard and install them up top. I actually just run them upside down and then put my phone underneath with the camera facing up. And once you got it installed, you're gonna make sure it's nice and flush and tight. There's no wiggle. It's supposed to screw right to your sprocket. And once it's in there real good, you're gonna wanna make sure that that straight little stick coming out of it, that rod, is totally in alignment with your chain. Because if it is, that means your chain and the sprocket are both going in a straight line to the front sprocket. And if you have one going one way and one going the other, that means that your rear sprocket is out of alignment with your front sprocket, which means your rear wheel is out of alignment, which means your whole bike steering is going to be messed up. And obviously the solution to that is going to be to redo your chain adjustment and make sure that your rear axle is in straight. I probably should have introduced myself earlier, but I forgot. Hi, my name is Adrian from YouMotorcycle. I make videos that hopefully help motorcyclists. If this did help you, please hit that like button. We're not done yet. 2 more things to go. But if you do like hanging out with me in my garage and talking motorcycle stuff, please, by all means, hit the subscribe button. That's all. Other things that could mess you up happen both the front tire and the back. So what I'm talking about, this is the most common thing. It's your tire pressure. If you haven't checked in a couple months, it's not uncommon in certain times of year for you to lose 1 to 2 PSI per week. So if you haven't checked your tire pressure in 2 months and you get on the bike and you're like, oh, it feels kind of a little bit weird when I'm sort of turning a little bit or leaning or whatever, check your tire pressure. That's probably it. And the last problem that you could have is that your front forks might be bent. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's very annoying and very expensive. Normally, this does not happen enough that I would be too worried about it if you just had a minor crash. But basically, what you're going to want to do is take a look from the top down, make sure everything seems straight, make sure things don't seem twisted. If your handlebar seems perfectly straight and that tire is crooked, take a look at your forks, both of them from 2 different angles. One cool thing that is really easy and good to do, now that everybody has like Photoshop and stuff on your phone, take a picture. Draw a line from the center of your axle to the center of the little adjuster here. And if things seem like they're kind of crooked, that could be a sign. If you're looking from the front, it's a little bit harder because you can't see. But again, take a picture, zoom in, draw a line. If that line is straight, you're probably going to be okay. But if that line seems like things are a little bit kinked, you might have a problem on your front end. So I hope that's lots of information on how to tell if your motorcycle handlebar is bent, whether it's a Honda CB500F or any other bike. This will all apply to you. Helpful video. If it was, please help me out by hitting that like button. My next video, we will be looking at how to replace the brake lever on this motorcycle. And the video after that, we'll be replacing the entire handlebar. As always, I'm Adrian from YouMotorcycle. Thank you so much for watching. Ride safe, but have fun. Peace.